Hey guys, MeLikeBigBoom here, showing you guys how you can play Unturned 3.0 for real this time, to actually plop down in a world and actually play around with the new gun and play around on the new map. Now there aren't any zombies or anything, it's extremely basic, but I mean it's 3.0, we all want to play it. So I'm going to show you guys how you can host your own 3.0 server for you to connect to by yourself. It's a relatively complicated process, but if you watch this video step by step, it'll be done in no time. So the first thing you need to do is access your unturned game files. This will usually be found on your local disk, program files, x86 or the regular one, and go down to Steam, then down to Steam Apps, Common, and then here are all the game files of all the Steam games that you have. And Unturned is down at the bottom because it starts with a U, and you get all this stuff. Now the first thing you're going to do is right click this unturned executable and press create as shortcut, and it will just add another one in here, and that's fine. And we're going to rename this and call it server. Server. There we go. And I'm going to copy mine to the desktop so that way I can easily access it. So paste. Now we have an unturned server shortcut on the desktop. So that way whenever I want to play 3.0, I just double click that and then double click unturned. So from here, you're not done at all. So you got to right click this and go into properties. It will open up this unturned server properties window, and right here in the target it says the location of what this shortcut is leading to. So it's saying program files, Steam, Steam apps, common, unturned.exe. So if you were to double click that, it would just play unturned right now. But what we're going to do is we're going to change it and turn it into a server. So after the quotation marks, make sure that it's after it, because a lot of people will end up typing in this information in the quotation marks and it will mess it up. But after it, you're going to type in nographics, one word, no caps, space, batch mode, space, plus. Now you've gotten the first part done, but you're not quite done yet. You have to say what kind of server it's going to be. Is it going to be a LAN server to where only people on your local area network can connect to it? Is it going to be an insecure server where people in the World Wide Web can connect to it and Valve anti-cheat isn't active? Or a secure server where it's available to everyone on the World Wide Web except Valve anti-cheat is open. Now, because you make it a secure server doesn't mean that anyone can just connect to it. You have to give them your public IPs. So for this situation, I'm just going to create secure server right there, one word, and make sure that it's connected to the plus. Don't do space plus space. It has to be space plus then secure server, like as in one chunk of text, and then secure server. And so if I wanted to invite someone to my server, I'd have to give them my public IP. So from here you're going to enter in a / and give your server a name. So for me, I'll just do MeLikeBigBoom. You can name it anything. All it's going to do is just name a folder, so that way you can access the files in there. And once you're done, you click apply and OK, and now you are almost ready to go. So you're going to double click this, and it's hopefully going to start up this little window here, and it's going to look like a little command prompt, except it says unturned up at the top. And from here you're going to shut it down by typing shutdown. Gosh, there we go. So now you're probably wondering, like, well, why did you run it in the first place if you were just going to close it? Well, when you start it up for the first time, it runs a startup sequence which creates this folder, and it's going to have little files in here that tell your server what to do. And what we're going to change in here is the commands.dat file. So we're going to open up a notepad document. Notepad. There we go. So here we go. We have notepad, and we're going to drag that commands.dat folder in here. It doesn't have any text in it, but that folder is open, as you can see, and we're going to add some commands. So the first thing is you got to tell your server what map it's going to play on. So we're going to type in map and dev test. Now that is case sensitive. You have to have the D a capital D, otherwise when you try and connect to the server it'll say it's running corrupted files. If you made a server in the level editor and saved it, that is where you would enter in your level name in order to play on it. Make sure that everything is correct about the name, because one misspelling will mess it up. So there we go, map dev test. Let's set the port to something, so I'll do port 25444. We're going to give it a password, so type in password 123, and from there, I think we're pretty much good to go. So you can close it. Now there is a big long list of commands that you can do. This is the bare bones. Like this will make like the server work and pretty much nothing else. But if you want to get more complex, like making it PvE or like whitelisting players or blacklisting players, I will put a big long list of commands that you can enter into here in the description down below. So that way you can customize your server even more. But since 3.0 is so early in its development stage, it's kind of pointless to make a true dedicated server at this point. So we're going to close it and press save, and then we are good to go. So now let's run our Unturned server shortcut, and now when you pop it up, it should say successfully set map to dev test, successfully set port to 25444, and blah 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 blah. If it has any problems, just go back and recheck what you typed in. Also make sure that dev test has a capital D, and from here we are good to go. Now we just need to figure out how to connect to our server. So I have to enter in my IPv4 address, which you can find by typing in cmd and running as administrator, typing in ipconfig, and it will give you your IPv4 address right here. Mine is 10.0.0.5. Yours is probably going to be different. Now if you actually want to have someone else connect to you, you're going to have to give him your public IP address, which can be found by going to a website like ipchicken.com and copying that and giving it to them. But the IPv4 address is your local address that pertains to your own router. So if someone is at your house, they could enter in 10.0.0.5 and they'd be able to connect to you. But if they're at their own house, they can't use that. So we're going to start up Unturned. Remember that 10.0.0.5. So start up Unturned. So here we go. We are in Unturned right now. Now we go into play, connect, and enter in the information that we put in. So mine is already set because I've done this before. But you would enter in your IPv4 address, the port that you set it to, and the password that you set it to. And when you press connect, you're playing Unturned 3.0. It's freaking awesome. So that is, well, it's nighttime right now. It's kind of cool looking though. Anyway, so this is how you play Unturned 3.0. There isn't much at all. There's just a single town and a small little farm. But nonetheless, you'll still be able to play Unturned 3.0, and now you know how to connect and play the game when there's new stuff added. But that is all I have for now. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and do all that gibberish because MeLikeBigBoom is out.